Let's see how much you've grown. Hey, yo, Sanji's kicks need to be tested, bro. He finally got an upgrade in Wano to the point where his durability is on point. Kizaru got next. Tell me something different. Kuma has finally pulled up to Egghead. This man is on straight business. Hey, yo, that facial expression Kuma got has so much conviction. If I was that mad, I'd pull that same face too. Real spit. If the highlights of my past, which were the worst points of my past, right, were going through the way it went for Kuma, nah, I'll probably throw two hands. I mean, Saturn lucky he just got hit with one punch. Man, I would have hit him with that two-piece. The moments literally went from being told that he could either live or die as a slave by Saturn, witnessing Bonney being born, Jenny's last moments, Jenny being happy, and watching his mama die. Oh nah, I'll be that tight too, on everything. I would genuinely be that tight. Y'all probably watching this from YouTube recommendations, but yo, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man, so y'all can get these videos on time and I can grow this channel, man. Love y'all for real. Thanks for everybody who subscribed so far. Peace. Saturn looks completely discombobulated at the idea of seeing Kuma. You know what's funny, right? So Saturn had actually set up, well, he actually activated the failsafe or the kill switch that was to take out Kuma. And I mean, it's funny because Vegapunk actually designed a different type of kill switch, which in turn wouldn't turn Kuma into a bomb. Because I mean, Vegapunk, despite being a scientist and being logical, I mean, he does have a sense of humanity. So he didn't want to turn Kuma into like a living bomb. I mean, he just decided, you know what? Kuma would just shut off in its entirety. He'd basically be a vegetable. And I mean, which is a more humane way to go about it. I mean, it's still messed up. Yeah, lesser two evils. Whatever. And it turns out that Saturn had actually activated it the moment Kuma got rescued by the Revolutionary Army. Now, a couple things with this chapter, right? Kuma landing the punch and damaging Saturn, I'm mad at that. One thing is that we don't know how strong Saturn is just as a character. No, we don't know how strong Kuma is just as a character. I mean, he trained Sabo. Kuma's going one-on-one versus Saturn. I mean, it's an exchange. I wouldn't really call it a legitimate one-on-one. But I mean, Sabo was in there with 6 of those guys. And I mean, he's still walking on 2 legs. Kind of speaks volumes to how strong Kuma is. And Kuma's messed up at this point. So we can naturally assume that Kuma got some power in it. But also, the fact that Saturn easily regenerated from that damage too shows that yes, he can be damaged. That's 1. 2, you gonna have to put a lot of elbow grease into taking this man down. It was like he took the damage, but then he regenerated. So I'm guessing there's probably a limit to that regeneration. Kind of reminds me of the durability of the Animal Kingdom pirates. So I mean, the Straw Hats probably gonna need some sort of an upgrade. But I mean, by the time that they get to the point where they're actually fighting the Gorosei, they'd be able to go toe to toe with them. So of course, Vegapunk goes into a little detail thinking like, okay, the failsafe has been activated. Kuma should basically be a vegetable at this point. I feel like this is like a situation of logic versus emotion because it was supposed to shut him down in its entirety. Kuma and his sentiment towards Bonney and basically the love a father has for his daughter is overcome science in this capacity. The love that they share, Kuma has actually been drawn to Bonney in her moment of need, where Kuma has now rescued Bonney. The way Kuma was looking towards the end, I mean, he was looking a little, well, he couldn't actually move. So nobody knows where Luffy is. Luffy got a bunch of food last chapter. No one knows where he is. And Kizaru is chilling. It was definitely Kizaru. It has to have been him. Kizaru he's usually relaxed. Like I'm talking, he usually floating in the clouds somewhere, but he is just uncharacteristically relaxed despite the situation, despite that a Gorosei has been struck. Like the rest of the Navy guys are like, yo, we gotta go help Saturn, man. We gotta go help Saturn. Yo, he got snuffed. Yo, he got snuffed. And I mean, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, where it gets crazy, right, is that when Luffy struck the Celestial Dragon in Sabaody, they sent an admiral to clean the situation up. A Gorosei member has been struck and Kizaru chilling. He's definitely changing sides. He has to change sides. Like, I genuinely think he's gonna change sides. Like, there's no version of this where I will not accept that this man does not change sides. He didn't call out to Bonney, but he was thinking about everybody there to the point where you can tell that despite his outward mannerisms, this is hitting him in the soul. Like, this is definitely hurting him. Like, he's not gonna sleep well tonight or any other night at that. So of course, Bonney and Kuma share a moment. It goes from her talking about the letters that she saw, the memories that she saw about him too, him being like the coolest dad, the kindest dad, and also her stating that, you know, she'll never actually forget any of that at all. It's sad because Kuma can't even talk because he's basically been shut down in its entirety. So whether he's actually receiving this information, that's a whole different story. And it's also sad that from the time in which they had split up, in order for her to recover from the surgery that she actually had, they haven't seen each other since that point. So, you know, a lot of time has gone past, and you know, this is like the first time that they actually reunite, and it's unfortunately on these terms. And you know, that's definitely a sad way to go out. Of course, so Saturn regenerates, and I mean, he tries to sneak Kuma, but Sanji intervenes and he stops the attack, or more, he deflects it. Sanji and Kizaru gotta go at it. Kizaru is genuinely interested at the growth of the Straw Hats. Frankie actually attacks Saturn. He gets beamed to the chest, and I mean, it actually goes through him. Of course, Kizaru kicks Frankie away because he actually has to do something being the Admiral there. Nah, Sanji and Kizaru gotta go at it. I mean, I'm not saying like a full-scale fight, but I mean, they gotta run those kicks. Like, they gotta kick it. But my focus right now is definitely on Kizaru. Kizaru, I feel like, is just going through a lot emotionally and just mentally because he's just suppressing his emotions. You know, he's sitting there thinking, yo, is it over? Like, just in terms of just his thoughts and his feelings towards Bonney, Kuma, and everybody there, Vegapunk too. Even Vegapunk calls him out and tells him like, yo, you ain't got no heart? Kizaru just sat there looking, man, I should have got me some darker glasses. It definitely hurts him. Like, he actually has a nice side. Him being within the world government for so long, he's just been the man who basically sold his soul. He's finally seen Nika, he's finally seen Kuma, so every character that matters in regards to Kizaru's development in context of who he can be is there. We're so unaware of where Luffy is. We don't really hear anything about Zoro and Lucci. I feel like that fight's gonna be off screen and it's just gonna end with Zoro actually whooping Lucci. I mean, there's no version of where Zoro actually loses. This man fought King. Lucci's not stronger than King. Definitely not. I mean, we don't know how strong Lucci is, but we can assume he's probably first commander level at this point because I mean, he's fine with Zoro, and Zoro is a first Yonko commander. Kizaru really, he going through an existential crisis, man. I don't know what it is with this week, but it's Sukuna going through an existential crisis, and Kizaru's going through an existential crisis, and at this point, I just feel like things will never be the same again. Kizaru hesitating the way that he has low-key will definitely get pointed out by Saturn, and I feel like once they get back to HQ, they're definitely going to turn on him. Not in its entirety, but eyebrows and questions are going to be raised to the point where they're like, I mean, you was moving a little sus. Like, either way, that's it from me. Ooh, no break next week, thank God, because we've been off for 3 weeks and my channel been catching the drought. I mean, I've been uploading a bunch of other videos and stuff, but I mean, which is cool, but yeah, regardless of that, I digress. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll holler at y'all later, man. Peace.